guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today I thought I'd show you how to make this really simple little sort of like ephemera pouch. Now I got this idea from Taperlogy. Now if you saw on Monday I did a Taperlogy unboxing, which was fabulous. Some beautiful things in there. Now one of the things that I loved was actually their packaging. Now the packaging is fantastic, and I loved this little very simple little envelope. It's like a little ephemera envelope. Now I was sent some of these beautiful Christmas die cuts as well. Now I just loved the pouch, so I thought I would give it a go of trying to make one. So oops, I've got them all stuck now. Look at these lovely ones, absolutely fab. Gosh, what have I done? Make a big mess here. But I'm going to use some of these in my Christmas little video soon. So look at these. Isn't that just, it's so simple. It's just one piece of card, and this has just got like a little piece of vellum on it, which is perfect, and a little closure like that just flips around. So going to show you my version. So I have used my card, which I had coffee stained in the garden in the summer, and I buy it in great big sort of like A1 sheets from our local shop, and I think this was originally sort of grey, but sort of like colours came out, and this is just a coffee stained. Can you believe it? It's sort of like made it go sort of like quite mottly, which is beautiful. So what I have done, I've used acetate instead of vellum or tracing paper, and I've just done a little pocket. So I've got sort of like little sort of gussets on the side of this one. So just pop all my lovely ephemera in here. This is the new Halloween ephemera, and I think it's beautiful. So I'll be doing those little tutorial on some embellishments for those as well soon. But look, all as it is a piece of card. Now this is 8 by 8, which I think is roughly 20 by 20 centimeters. And then I've just made a little pocket to go on the front from acetate. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and we've just got like a little brad in there as the closure. So I'm going to show you what or how we can do it. Now I want to make quite a few of them, because normally, let me just show you, my ephemera and my bits are in these lovely little pouches that I made. Again, these are acetate with the little closures like this, but I don't have any left, so I thought I'd give this one a go to store them in. And I need to store these words because I normally keep them like this on my desk, but now they're coming down to sort of like, some of them are like single words. I need somewhere to pop them in, and I thought one of these pouches would be perfect. I've already cut the acetate pieces because, you know, you can't see me do that anyway because they're see-through. This is the one that I've done already, but the first one I did, I rounded the corners because this had rounded corners on, and I did this one, but I sort of like made a bit of a boo-boo on that one. It didn't quite go round properly. So what I have done, I'm going to pop that to the side. I will use that one. I'm going to just leave the bottom flat. I've rounded the top too, so this is just 8 by 8. Should we just do this one? Let's do this one to put them in. So I've just inked the edges, ready to go. Again, this is some of my card. Look, this is what it comes like. This is where it's been tea stained in the garden, and this is what I've got left of my green one, but I just love them. I wish I did some more, but it's raining and damp, so it's not too nice out there yet. So what I'm going to do first, let me just get my little cutter, and I'm going to use this as like a scoreboard. And I'm going to so we did this is 8 inches, so I'm going to do it 5.5. I'm going to mark it 5.5 and score that down, so we've got a 2.5 inch sort of flap at the top. And I'm just going to use my ball tool on my cutting, my little Fiskars cutter, and I'm just going to go down there like that, and then this just bends over. So that's our little flap. Easy peasy. Right, to do the little pocket, I have got these already made. Okay, so this is what we want. We want 2 of these either side. Now to make those, I've taken a piece of paper, a piece of card, the same card as this, and I've cut it 2 inches by 4 inches, because the 4 inches is, that's how tall I want the pocket to be. Okay, so 2 inches across, and then what I'm going to do, let me just see, can you see on here? Yes. I'll just move these bits out of the way and I can go a little bit higher. There we go. So I'm going to pop this back on the scoreboard. Now this is 2 inches, so I'm going to go along to 1 inch there, and then I'm going to score down the middle, because we know that that's going to be the middle. So that's in half, and then I'm going to go up to 1.5 and score again. So that's halfway between those two, and then I'm going to go down to 1/2 inch there. Now I've done that in inches, so 2 inches is about 5 centimeters. So that's all you do on 2 of them. You want 2 of these, then bend that up, bend it in half, and then bend them back again. Okay, and that's your little gusset bit for the side. Now I've already done mine because I've inked them, so you don't need to see me ink them. So you want 2 of those, and then you just want a strip. I've done this. What did I do this one? Yeah, it's about 1 centimeter, but you can do it as wide as you like. And this is just slightly under 8 inches, just a little smidgen, just under 8 inches, just so it will fit in there into this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually sew this. Now I'm going to pop those out flat again. I'm going to turn them over, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this into the bottom of here. I don't know which way around that goes. Make sure you've got it around the right way. I'm going to stick it in to the bottom. Okay, so just a little bit in here, like that, and stick that into that first little one on the back. Make sure that bends over. I want this stuck in first because I want to sew it. Which way round? I don't think this really matters which way round it is. That can go in there. That goes right on the back there. Stick that down. Just stick it down a little bit. And then we'll turn that over. And what I want to do, I want to sew down and around like this, like I've done on this one. Okay, so let me just make sure it is measured like that. Just make sure it fits in there properly. Let's pop that one on there, and then that one fits on there. So can you see? Perfect. A little bit wobbly wobbly, mine one. There we go. So that goes in there like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this back over, just open this out, and what we want to do is pop our little piece of acetate in here as well. Okay, so it's not easy for you to see me do this, but what I'm going to do, let me turn it back around this way, I'm going to get some 3-in-1, because this will stick it a little bit better, like this. So just a little bit of glue down there, down along here. This is just to hold it just while I sew it. Where did it go? There it is. Pop this in there. Is that in the right place? Right, so you don't have to sew this. You can just stick it in. I'm going to sew it because I love sewing on my sewing machine. There we go. Look, that's not quite. It's a little bit off there. I'm just going to cut this a little bit down. Just a little bit. It wasn't quite level. Okay, so then we've got like this little acetate window, can you see? Which will fit onto here. I'll make another one in a minute because I want to make 2 anyway. I want to make lots anyway. So there we go. So that sits on there. It's so simple to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly pop to the sewing machine and just sew around this edge here. So it will be 2 seconds. Okay, perfect. So that's sewn in. You can probably see it shining a little bit. Let me just cut this little bit of thread off. like that. Chop that a little bit off. Okay, perfect. Now, if you didn't have acetate, you can use tracing paper, or you can just obviously do the same thing, but just put a piece of paper in there. You could piece of Halloween paper, whatever paper you've got, or whatever embellishments you've got in there. You could match the sort of paper, couldn't you? Or you could have it blank and then just embellish it with some of the embellishments. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stick these bits down and along here. Now again, I'm going to use 3-in-1. There we go, stick that down. I'm just going to do one side for a minute and make sure I've got that on there properly. Stick that down. That. Make sure we've got that in. There we go. Just line it up. Line it up as best you can. Stick that side down. I'm going to lift this over. I'm going to put a little bit of glue just along the bottom. Like this. And down here. Oopsie, some acetate on there. We don't want that. Flip this over. Pop that down. And then we want to stick this down. Like this. So make sure it's all stuck down nicely. You can actually just run the sewing machine along the bottom bit as well if you wanted to. Just make sure that's all stuck down. Like that. Perfect. And then you've got your little pocket that opens out like that. Lovely. I think they are fab. So that goes down. Oh, I didn't ink that, did I? Actually, I just ink that top bit. You pop the lid on there for a minute. Let's take this, ink that up. Again, you can make them, you don't have to make them out of this card. You can make them out of scrapbook papers. You can make some nice funky ones. You can make them out of the scrapbook papers that you don't like, can't you? You can use those. But I love them. I think it's really easy. I just love the envelope. I thought it was so, so lovely and so simple. Right, I've got some little, whatever, I don't know, I can't remember what these are called, but I'll show you how I make it. Really, really simple. I've shown you before. I take my hole punch, pop a little hole in first. I've taken this, which is 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to just pop it in like that. So you can sort of like judge where the hole is in the middle then, can't you? So there you go, you've got a nice little one there. So that's what I've done on those, and I've just, you know, inked it up. But the other thing I'm going to do as well, I am going to take, let me just take a scrap. I've got a little scrap piece here, doesn't matter what colour it is. I'm going to, how am I going to do this? I'm going to just take this off, stick this onto here. Like that, just squish it around. A little bit too much glue on there, really. I just want to lift the back of this up a little bit, so it's not flat. So when you put them on here, and you put a brad through there, they go so flat you can't get anything underneath. So I just wanted to make something just to lift it up a little bit. So I can actually do that again. Just stick that on there, just a little bit of glue. Let's just squidge that around. Doesn't matter if they don't stick tight. Now I'm going to make a little hole in there. Okay, so that's sort of like 3 pieces of card, sort of like thick. And then I'm going to just go around this. Doesn't have to be neat and tidy. Doesn't even have to be in a circle. Look at that. That's what I'm going to do. Just a tiny little one like that. I'm going to get a brad. What shall I use? Shall I just use a big brown one? I'm going to pop this into there, and then I'm going to pop this on the back. Now you don't have to stick that down, and I don't know whether you can see, but it just holds it up just a little bit. I did do one on here, but obviously you can't see it, but you can see it's lifted up just slightly. So much easier to get things underneath. So that's ready. I'm going to just, let's get that out of the way. I'm going to, let's measure this along here. Let me just, this is 8 inches, so we need a 4. Where's my pencil? So let's just pop a little dot there, just so that we are in the middle. You can eyeball it, that's not a problem. I'm going to just pop a little hole in there. Pop, oopsie daisy, don't drop it. Pop that through there. Pop that through. Just open that up like that. Can you see it's got a little, I'm hoping you can see, it's got a, like a more of a lip to it. Let me just close this so it doesn't dry up. I'm going to take some of this, which has got the pretty little gold in it. I'm going to tie this around. Let's just tie a little knot. Doesn't have to be too much because we're not going to go spinning this around. It's just to go on there. I'm not going to be pulling it tight, so let me just wrap this around. See, that many times, chop that off, and I'm just going to put a little knot in the end so that thread doesn't unravel. Oops, if I can. Like this. I'm going to do, let's do 3. There. Okay. Perfect. Chop that little bit off. Perfect. So that's lovely. Got me ink everywhere. Mucky mucky. Right. Now, what I want to put in there is these, because I've had these on in here for ages. Like this. I'm going to pop them inside so I can see exactly what I have, which I am a very visual person, so if anything's sort of like hidden away, I forget about it. I like to see what I've got. Now these are the other ones. This is one of my little pouches, so I can take these out now and pop those in there. Oh. Flick them upside down, so then I can actually see what I've got. Now I've got 3 lots of these words and phrases in different colours, so I can make a few of these pouches. So you want to obviously have your flap lower than the top of your pocket so everything doesn't fall out. So that just goes round like that, and we can tie that up. And look at that, how easy and how lovely is that? So these in my drawer just stacked like that. Now you could pop a little pumpkin on there so you know that that's your Halloweeny one. You could pop one of your words on there so you know that that's your words and phrases in there. But I just love them, absolutely. So I'm going to just make another one. Whether you want to stick around while I make another one, I'll just show you because I've got everything ready to do it. So I'm going to, what did I do? So we want 5.5. So this is, again, this is 8 by 8. So I need 5.5 measure. And then I'm just going to score that down. Just like that. Close that up. Oh look, I've got one of these little green ones there I can use that I just made, which is the nice side. See, I quite like all that sort of like grunginess that they look. I think it's really, really lovely. But again, like I said, if you've got any old sort of like scrapbook papers that you don't like, you could just make them into little pockets, little pouches. Okay, let's just have that little bit of ink on there. Perfect. So again, let's pop that up there. I've got my little gussety bits there. I have a little green piece here, and somewhere hidden away, do you think this piece is it? That looks right on the wrong side. Is the piece of acetate, which they tend to sort of disappear. Now I've inked this edge, so that's the bit. This one doesn't matter so much because that's been glued down. So what I want to do is just turn these over and glue this down, whichever side. It doesn't really matter, does it? But this is quite a nice one to do some mass making, isn't it? If you're into sort of like mass making stuff. I'm not really, because I changed my mind too much. But these sort of thing you can, because these, oh gosh, because these obviously are just to hold your embellishments in. Perfect. And we'll glue on there. Make sure they fold up properly. That goes in. I'm going to glue in the piece of acetate. Let's make sure we fit in there properly. Perfect. And then that, we've got to make sure we are, yes, we are the right size. Let's pop a little bit of glue down here, along here. Now again, this is just to hold it. Now if you're not going to sew, make sure you've glued it down properly. Okay. And I do like the 3-in-1 or the Fabri-Tac glue for doing things like this. So not very easy to see. I think that's about right. Turn it around this way. Oh, it's absolutely pouring with rain outside. So it's fun. It's nice to be in my craft room when it's like this, because we haven't had lots of rain at all. It's quite nice. I not feel like I have to be outside. Oh no, I've just got glue everywhere. Never mind. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go again and sew around this. So 2 seconds. Okay, perfect. Let's just, oopsie daisy, let's just cut these little bits off. Oh, there we go. A little bit there, a little bit there. Lovely. Right, what shall we do? What were we doing then? Some glue. I don't need to put the lid on because I shall be using that. So look, I've made this one really messy. Never mind. So let's just glue those on. Look at that. I think they look fab. Be careful. I mean, grubby like me. My gosh, I'm really pouring with rain out there. We went for a beautiful walk on the beach yesterday. It was quite early, and there was sort of like nobody about, and it was beautiful. Sun was just coming up. We were going to do it again this morning, and it was raining. So I don't fancy walking in the rain. Not if I don't have to. But we were up at 7. We're up so early for some reason at the moment. And it's so dark. The nights are really drawing in. It's so, or the mornings are so dark, but it's dark at night as well, isn't it? I think it makes us go to bed earlier, because you think it's later than it is. There we go. Let's push that down. Stick these down. Make sure they are nice and stuck. You can pop a little bit of a clip or something on there to dry. Make sure it's stuck down. Look at those. I just think they're great, aren't they? Well, I didn't stick that down very well. Oops. If they don't stick and you do have a sewing machine, it might be wise to sew across the bottom there like that. Okay, lovely. Let's just find the middle of this one. 8. Where's my pencil gone? There it is. Just a little dot there. Just make a little hole. Pop a little hole there. Let's get another brad. We have a little creamy one this time. Let's go for a little creamy one. Now I'm going to actually stick 2 of these together, I think. Just so it's a little bit thicker. This one's got a little bit of ink on it. So let's just stick those together. Pop a little bit of ink. Where's my ink? Oh, lid. There we go. Just a little bit of ink around here. Now I'm gathering up little bits of scrap on here, and I've been sort of like cutting these out again. I've been making more of these, so all the little scrap pieces that I've got left on my desk, I'm going to just make into little circles or little tags or something like that. I think now we need a little bit of scrap paper again. Scissors. Let's just glue this down onto here. Just squish that on, just to make one of those little backing things, because I think they work really, really well. Sit that way. Put that down. You don't have to stick them together. You could just sort of like cut holes in 3 bits of card and pop them on. It doesn't really matter because it's just lifting it up, isn't it? There we go. Perfect. Put these out of the way. Oops. Pop that in there like that. Pop this one on there. Pop that through there. And up. And there we go. That's our lovely little closure. Fab. A little bit of this. I do have white actually. That's quite nice. Now I think the white will get dirty too quick, I think. Let's just pop this in there. Tie that tight. Pop that. Oh gosh, can you hear that rain outside? Wrap this around 1, 2, 3. Chop that off. And then again we will tie a little knot in there. Perfect. There we are. Oh, well, I won't be watering my plants tonight, that's for sure. Look at those, fantastic, isn't it? Don't you think that's easy peasy? Let's pop that in there and we just tie that round, and I'm just loving them, absolutely loving them. So I will find something to put in there. I want one as well for my other Halloween, the Gothic one, to put the embellishments in. But look at those, I think they look absolutely fantastic and so simple. But again, if you don't have acetate, you can use tracing paper, you can just use another piece of card. It doesn't really matter what you put on there, but I'm loving, so you can see what's in your little pouches. I think they look really, really good. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you give this a go because it's really good. The back piece is 8 by 8, so it's really big. Just start with a square. You don't have to make them this size. You can make them any size, so it's just giving you a sort of like rough idea how to make them. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye bye.